see all of these things happening towards Bitcoin, beating the price up, beating it down to the ground, and just continuously making the market bleed. And Bitcoin continues to bounce back up, and it's one of the most resilient assets known to man. Present year to date, check it out. Bam. Bitcoin keeps running and then ultimately comes out on top. If you don't get it, you don't get it. And with that, what's happening, Crypto Crew? Sean's coming back at you with yet another Bitcoin video. We'll get into this really quick. Before we get started, make sure you check us out, Bitcoin Bros 101. All of our learning links, social links, premium Patreon pass.
Hey guys, sorry for the quick interruption, but if you're interested in trading MicroStrategy options, any other stock out there, Bitcoin, Solana, or any other crypto out there, you can now do that on MooMoo. And if you sign up with our affiliate link, which we pin in the comment section, also in the description below, when you sign up and deposit any amount, you're going to receive up to 20 free stocks, and each one of these stocks could be valued at up to $2,000. So make sure to sign up with MooMoo. Go get that free money. Now let's go ahead and get back to the video.
Now, if you're in the MooMoo, you can sign up today with this link as mentioned just a second ago, up to $2,000 in free stocks. Why not get some free stuff? And also, we're talking about this. We're talking call options. We're talking more alpha in our Patreon. Go ahead and join our Patreon. Join the community, Bitcoin Bros Club. We appreciate all your guys' support. And look here, this is Bitcoin and crypto. You see cryptos in the red, Bitcoin's in the blue. We're still just on an uptrend. It's looking good to the upside. Is retail going to fully come back in? But for crypto and altcoins, 11, yeah, haven't fully returned, but some alts are blasting off. So be prepared for the alt season that is to come. Bitcoin USD's coming in at 90.7K. The trend's your friend to the end. We've just been stair-stepping our way up to the upside. Nothing changed there. Bitcoin dominance is up to 60%. And guys, look here. The 20 crossed over the 250, this green line. The moving averages just keep bouncing off this, and Bitcoin could just continue to stair-step its way to the upside. When will alt season come? Look at this chart here from Mikey Bull. You see that, from the halving, we go about 243 days before the Bitcoin dominance falls off a cliff. Once again, halving 245 days, Bitcoin dominance falls off a cliff. So are we going to see this right now? Also, look at the correlation with the RSI as well. Bitcoin dominance is just steadily staying above this overbought territory. So over the next few months, are we going to see altcoin season finally? Be prepared. You don't want to be on the sideline. Right now is the time to get positioned. And overnight, MicroStrategy has went up almost $8, almost back up to $3.50. We'll see where the market opens tomorrow. And once again, don't forget to join our Patreon. It's in the description below. We're talking about MicroStrategy calls and other call options if you're interested in that in the TradFi markets. Speaking of MicroStrategy, Ben Workman dropped some alpha, and you need to check this out. 200K Bitcoin accumulation in 2024. What's this mean? Let's read. Let's assume MicroStrategy's already accumulated the additional 9730 Bitcoin to get to 100K for the year pending an announcement. It is possible they blew people's mind to go for another 100,000 by the end of December. So they could buy over 100,000 before the end of December. An additional, let's assume they need $10 billion in capital to get another 100K. Might be more, might be less. Assuming 100K per Bitcoin average, and they're doing this with ATMs and convertible debt. So could this really happen? If Bitcoin closes at the end of the year 100K, the target of the organization is to accumulate 200,000 Bitcoin. 210 for the 21 million. At the price of 100K per Bitcoin, that would give them an estimated fair market value on their balance sheet of $38.9 billion. By the end of 2024, if they hit their accumulation target of 389,150 Bitcoins, currently 279 some change plus the 9,700 to get another $100,000. If they maintain 25% leverage against that, that means they could support the $9.7 billion in convertible debt. So with these assumptions in mind, this means they could raise an additional $5.4 billion in convertible debt if we assume nothing at all will convert. So this is highly unlikely. If you come up with another 4.6, there are 21 trading days in December, limiting the scope of simplicity and feasibility assessment. So they'll need to raise about 219 million per day. So is this possible? Is this something they could do? It's possible, most definitely. It definitely have an impact on the market. Keep a low issuance target of like 2% of the daily volume. So this assumes they need 11 billion in daily trading volume to issue this much daily. So to stay within the assumed 65 million of free cash flow on bond coupons, they'll be looking to hold 8.125 billion at a blended rate of 0.8 by the end of the year. Fun brain activity. So a lot of bullish outcomes. All of this is massive bullishness. The fact of the matter is that this is talking about MicroStrategy having the ability to accumulate another 100,000 Bitcoin before this year is out within the next 30 to 45 days. Could this be what's up Michael Saylor's sleeve? Check out what he said in this recent clip.
I think it's going to go up from here. I'm planning the 100K party, and I'm thinking it's probably going to be New Year's Eve at my house. So I would be surprised if we don't go through 100K in November or December.
So in this clip, you heard Michael Saylor saying that he's planning a 100K party. And is he talking about 100K Bitcoin? Because that seems to be programmed in. Price at the current time of this recording is 91,000. So 100K isn't that far-fetched. That's less than a 10% move from where we are right now. So could he be talking about a 100K Bitcoin buy for MicroStrategy, meaning that they're going to amass another additional 100,000 units before the year is out? That's a massive play. MicroStrategy right now has been going crazy. How high can this price go before the year's out? One thing that you don't want to do, you don't want to be like CHAMATH. What CHAMATH Palpatine do? Check out this clip.
Honestly, you know what I think about? I actually think about all the Bitcoin I sold. I had a bunch of Bitcoin in my funds when I managed outside capital. You know, that's a $3 or $4 billion mistake in growing now, because my partners at the time capitulated and I wanted to be a good team member, and we distributed and it was profitable. But obviously I shouldn't have sold it. Would have made them a lot more money. And then I think about, like, I bought some land in Lake Tahoe. It was in the Wall Street Journal. I'm sure you can find it. But how much is that worth now? Probably a couple $100 million, maybe more.
Rough trade. But you do have Bitcoin holdings. So
can I ask you a question? Why do you say sold Bitcoin as opposed to converted Bitcoin into dollars? Like, when you think about Bitcoin, just as a participant, do you think about Bitcoin as a dollar-denominated asset that you go and buy Bitcoin and then you're eventually going to sell it, turn it back into dollars and use the dollars? Or are you like, what do you think about the purist kind of idea that Bitcoin should be the de facto currency and store of value in the future, and the dollar doesn't matter, and we shouldn't necessarily be talking about the value of Bitcoin in dollar-denominated terms as something I'm going to eventually turn it back into?
It hasn't happened yet. And so until it happens, I think you have to view it as like a very good gold proxy. But it's a largely dollar-denominated asset.
So that's CHAMATH Palpatine from the All In podcast. They're having a good conversation here, but you don't want to be like CHAMATH in this scenario because he doesn't have the denominator figured out yet. He's still denominating things in US dollar terms. So he's worth $1 billion. We don't think that CHAMATH's worried too much about money. But if you're looking to store your wealth, he's buying land, and land's a scarce asset. And if you're a billionaire, then, you know, it won't hurt for you to go buy some land. And that's why he's not hurting too bad, because he still has some Bitcoin put up, but he's looking at, I bought that land for 1.6 million a few years back, and now that's probably worth 30, 40, 50, 100 million, whatever that number is. It could be even more than that, 500 million. You guys got to look up the article, but you get what I'm saying. Understand the denominator should be Bitcoin, not US dollars, because if you denominate everything in US dollars, why would you denominate everything into something that's going to zero? Does that make sense? Or do you believe that Bitcoin is going to be that true asset that's held and interchanged across countries and interchanged eventually for commerce globally? Is that something that could happen? Right now it's happening in El Salvador and a couple other small nation states, but now the big boys have jumped on. There's a lot of Bitcoin regulation happen in the US and globally. The big players are coming in. So if the writing's on the wall for Bitcoin to be currency, that could be what happens. Plan accordingly. With that, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. You guys like this content? Go ahead and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and show us some love. We appreciate each and every one of you. With that, that's all I have for you today, and I'm out.